Okay, check 1 2, check 1 2. Hold up a sec. Let me move the mic a bit closer to myself. Okay, I think we're good here. Let me check. Anything else am I missing? Okay, so hey everyone, welcome to the Food Truck After Dark. Well, my name's Ruka, and yeah, so welcome again to another Mahjong night. I had a little bit of scuff here at the beginning. I was trying to connect to Twitch at the same time and realized a little bit too late I didn't set the connection correctly. So we are not dual streaming with Twitch right now. It is going to be just YouTube only for today. But yeah, I mean, usually for Mahjong night I try to do dual streaming with both Twitch and YouTube so we can get the people over there who want to play Mahjong also in on this. But yeah, I kind of screwed up the setup. I didn't think about it because I usually haven't dual streamed in a while, and it was giving me some authentication errors and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, but yeah, same as usual. Let me actually just put the message up really quick. If you want to play, let me know. We'll need 2 people. We'll need at least 2 people. Let's pin that really quick, and I'll go do my usual thing. I'll go ahead and warm up. I'll go warm up in ranking, and then we'll get started from there. All right then. Let's see. Silver room, isekai'd for maximum power, and yeah, let's go. Honestly, I couldn't think of anything to talk about for this week. Just a couple of things that might talk about as a preface, or whatever you want to call it. Preview for next week. But next week we're gonna be doing. Oh crap! That's not what I want. We're going to be doing a couple of different stuff. No, is it just one thing or is it a couple of things? A couple of things. Honestly, it's probably a couple of things. But yeah, so this week I did my first ASMR, right? So we're just gonna recap really quick what happened this week. Did my first ASMR this week, and actually that was super fun. I do want to do more of that, but I'm not sure if stream would be the best thing to do. However, I did notice that the VOD for the ASMR thing is over 100 views now, which is not what I expected. Because when I first when that first was up, I think we were like at 13 or 14 views, maybe even less than that when I finished the stream. So I wasn't expecting it to grow like almost 10 times over the course of the few days. So yeah, thanks for watching that. But I think I will try to do more because it was pretty fun. I do have some ideas, but if you have any ideas for me, please let me know, either in the comments or in chat here if you're watching this. I don't know. I feel like my type of ASMR is going to be a little bit different than what some people think is ASMR. I don't know. To be honest, I haven't watched much ASMR, but most of the ASMR I see is kind of like hampering sounds, blowing sounds, whispering sounds, and I could do that, but I don't think that's what we focusing on this channel. So it's like, what could I do that's more on brand, so to say? And I figure I should start it off with a little bit of knife sharpening. That's basically what the ASMR thing was. It was knife sharpening, though maybe it didn't sound like that with what I was doing. But it was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed myself. So I don't know. I feel like I came off a little bit more threatening than expected. But yeah. Are you serious? Okay. It's just 1,000. I'm okay with this. But yeah, I think I came off a little bit more threatening than I expected. It was like, no regrets, no regrets. It was what it was, and that was kind of partly planned anyway. Uh, like, but as far as how I did it, I didn't really plan on how to do it. I just kind of went and did it. Honestly, it wasn't even supposed to be ASMR to begin with, so that's the thing. It wasn't even supposed to be ASMR to begin with. I was originally going to be doing a knife maintenance stream, just because I feel like a knife maintenance stream would have been in line of what I do with the cooking and stuff. But I figured, hey, you know what? I like listening to kitchen sounds. I like listening to things I do in the kitchen and all the stuff like that. How about if I do this as an ASMR instead? However, I'm gonna do it as like a no context ASMR. Like, you don't see anything, but you hear it, kind of thing. That's basically what I was thinking about. And I feel like it, for me personally, I think it worked. At least for me personally. I don't know how else everyone else thought about it, but I did get one comment about it and said, yeah, this is not bad. This is not bad. Probably realizing I have never done ASMR before, probably listened to much ASMR. But I think I've listened to actually one knife sharpening ASMR, and I don't know. I think the one I listened to was a little bit too screechy. Like, if you try to listen to it, it's not a nice it's not a nice rubbing sound. It's more like a screeching metal rubbing sound, which is not great. I tried not to do any of that, but yeah. Hopefully that actually came through. Hoping. But in any case, I do want to do more. I have some ideas already, but if you have any other ideas that you might want me to try, I'm definitely open to that. Kind of curious what some people's ideas are, but at least I will record the sounds that I personally like to hear first. Those are the ones I want to do, and then I guess we'll go from there. I can't promise a release date on that, but it's not going to be like every week or every 2 weeks. It's probably going to be, hopefully not too spread out, but I'm going to try to at least do one some month kind of thing. That's kind of the plan, at least once a month. I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but keep in mind, I'm not like a ASMR artist. I'm not an ASMRist, so it's like, yeah, I can't really do much more than this with all the other stuff I'm doing anyway. So it's gonna be what it is, and I'm trying to fix my schedule up to be a little bit more varied. So starting next week, I think I'm gonna try to mix it up a little bit, try to actually do the things I promised myself I would do, but just haven't actually gotten around to yet. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's just too easy. It's just too easy sometimes to, what do you call this? Just stream and not do anything extra outside of stream other than planning. Like, sometimes planning does take a long time, especially if you're wanting to talk about something, explain something, that kind of thing. Like, for next week, I am planning to, what do you call it? I am planning to talk about the price hike. About like the price hike for the trains in Japan. Well, it's not really a price hike for the trains per se. It's more of a price hike for the rail pass, which does affect a little bit on how you're going to be doing your future travels. But the good news is that it's not going to happen anytime soon, but it will happen by the end of the year, and I'll get into all that by when we actually do the stream. I'm just trying to put things together I think I have everything I need. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to present it. And I might have to just present it the way I know how. You will find out what that means when we get there, but I think I'll just have to present it the way I know how, considering how this is shaping up. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot different. I feel like it's gonna be a lot different. It's not gonna be as flexible as it used to be, and I'm not. I don't know if I want to talk about this now, but I can probably guess why they are doing it the way they're doing it. The prices have risen across the board, everywhere, and they probably also have to increase their prices there. But I didn't think they were going to be doing a double price increase. I am also probably thinking that they probably did that to discourage some bad behaviors regarding the tickets, and I might have been guilty about some of them before, so we'll probably go over that also if I remember to talk about it. But I just kind of thought about it right now. It didn't even come in the front of my mind to think about it, but it probably is a factor. Now that I think about it. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, I tend to want to talk about in the Japan Talk streams about, what do you call this? Stuff you can see, stuff you can do, little tips here and there, but I'm not opposed to commenting definitely about Japan travel related changes. Oh wow, you are dead. At least that wasn't me. Wow. Okay, at least that wasn't me. But yeah, I'm not opposed to talking about Japan related things like changes, for the lack of a better word, controversies. I don't really like talking about controversies in general, like social controversies or anything political or anything like that. It's just not my thing to do. But travel stuff, things that will actually affect you directly when you are trying to do something fun, or at least, you know, trying to take a break. Yeah, that's we definitely have to talk about that. And there have been some videos on the topics, but I don't think there's been any in-depth discussion on how it's going to affect things. At least not the way I would have done it anyway. So I feel like this is a good time to do it. At least the way I want to do it. Anyway, in any case, let me just check something really quick. Am I live? I should be live. Let's see. No, we'll do that. Sounds more like a practical commentary than a controversy anyway. Hey Sala, welcome! Okay, we are live. We are live. I don't have to check anymore. I mean, yeah, practical commentary as opposed to, you know, drama. I mean, there's too much drama about multiple things going on anyway, and we don't need that, to be honest. And honestly, half the time of any other drama pops up, is like, why do I care? Why do I care? Some people just want the tea, and you know what? You can have your tea. I don't want any of it. I have my own tea. It tastes nice. It's jasmine tea. It tastes very nice, and that's all the tea I need. what else can I say about that? That's all the tea I need. But yeah, I mean, practical commentary about stuff in general, always welcome. Always welcome to an open, honest discussion on that kind of thing. But social issues and that kind of stuff, I mean, I have my own personal opinions and stuff. I'm not going to share them with anyone. I don't think anyone needs to know that. Honestly, I don't think anyone needs to know that, and unless it affects us directly on what we do here, no one needs to know it. That's just how it is. End of the day. It's like, I've mentioned this before, and I will say it again. I do not care. Okay, I do not care what you do, where you came from, what you're into, that kind of thing. You can be into the most degen stuff ever or most controversial stuff ever. As long as you're not hurting anyone, that's okay with me. As long as we can, as long as we don't get it, as long as we don't use that to like, well, as long as we don't like use that as a basis to get on each other's throats or anything, we'll be okay. That's all I'm asking for. Don't get into fights with people. That's fine. I like things to be very hands-off as much as possible. And I don't know, some people... I'm too... I'll just say this right now. I am too... old for this. I am too old to care, okay? I feel like the older you get... for some people anyway, the older you get, the less you care about all the other stuff that happens around you, as long as your little you know, life, your world is a-okay. Don't care much about anything else. But yeah, I mean, that's not saying be ignorant. No, I'm not saying be ignorant. I'm just saying know what's happening out there, but don't get too caught up in it unless it actually directly affects you. And even if it does directly affect you, what can you do about it? And that sounds very defeatist of me, but what can you do about it practically? I don't know. But at least for the Japan travel stuff or travel stuff in general, you can do something about it. Maybe not change it, because changing things is difficult. But you can work around it. And if the only way to really change something that you don't like is to, I don't know, boycotting, I guess, not participating, that's probably the best way to do it. I don't know. It depends. It depends. But in this case, when you're traveling, you just have to be a little bit smarter about things. And I did do at least some math already, and it's definitely not as easy. It's definitely not as easy. We'll get into that next week. I'm still trying to figure out the day, though. I kind of want to do it on Monday, but I don't know if I want to hit the topic like the first day of the week, when Monday is like everyone's worst day apparently, or hit it on like somewhere in the middle of the week. But I do need to close out maybe one or two things that I'm streaming next week, so that I can get my schedule back on quote-unquote track again. So just a recap for this month so far. I think we are, oh my gosh, we're like 3 weeks into this month. 3 weeks into this month. We got like 4.5 weeks left, roughly. I forgot this was a longer month, but yeah. But recap for this month, we have finished 2 games, Dyson Sphere Project and Yakuza 0. Yakuza 0 was finished yesterday. I could have gone a little bit longer than that. I could have dragged it out a little bit longer, I feel like, but I don't think I wanted to drag it out too long, because I did what I needed to do as far as the goals of the game were, and anything else was just a little bit unnecessary. That's just, I mean, it was fun, don't get me wrong, it was fun, but I don't like dragging things out too much more than they have to be. So Dyson Sphere Project, that was a fun trip. I really wanted to do more of that, but again, I feel like I was dragging that a little bit too much, regardless of how much fun I was having with it. We'll probably go back to that again though, because there's probably going to be new content that's coming out, and I want to see how it affects things. But we'll see. I'm trying to get back into a 4-day stream schedule, the 5-day stream schedules, which is doable. But I keep finding excuses for myself not to do actual work off stream. On my days I don't stream, because it's like, I could just rest. I could just play with my mobile games and call that a day. And I barely even have time for myself, actually. Like I try to cook. I try to work out on those days too, but it's been tough. It's been tough to find that time, and it's like, yeah, we need to get the schedule back on track. I need to get the schedule back on track. I know people like to hear that a lot. Yeah, schedule. Ooh, how do I structure my life around a schedule? No. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just organizing things, setting things in priority. Okay, set the things that are important to you, that kind of thing. Which is what I'm trying to do. So I need more time for myself. I need more time for the things I need to do, either personally or for the stream, and hopefully we can get that. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough, especially if you don't have anyone to help you. Like if you live alone, like you know some people do, or you let's just do these situations really quick. If you live alone, you have to do everything yourself. There are some things you can do to make it easier. Like you don't have to go out to buy stuff all the time. You can buy stuff online. Thank goodness for buying stuff online. We wouldn't have been able to do this even 10 years ago, I feel like. Because I feel like that even 10 years ago, I don't think it was as common. It was like not, it didn't really like pick up, I feel like, until the pandemic started. Yeah, people were buying stuff online, but they weren't buying stuff as much even back then. And now, I feel like even my frozen meats, even my meats are bought online because, at least for me, it's cheaper to get them there than around here. Like, holy crap, the prices around here are ridiculous. I want to go back. I want to go back to where I came from, but I'm stuck here. I'm stuck here for at least another year and a half. Oh well, we'll see. But yeah, but if you are lucky enough to have someone with you that's able to help you take care of chores and stuff like that, like a partner, that's probably the best situation. A partner who helps you around the house and also is very supportive in what you do. Like some people will see this as a very, what do you call this? A silly hobby. At the end of the day, it looks like a silly hobby, but yeah, it's a fun hobby, okay? It's a fun hobby. I don't think you can fault us for that. No. It's fun. Even though you're not quote-unquote big or trying to get big. That kind of thing. It's, yeah. It's just easier if you have someone to help you that understands what you're doing. It's also rough to do when you have a full-time job, you know, a full-time job where you actually have to go out to do the said full-time job, and your mental capacity after said full-time job isn't where you want it to be. But at the same time, I feel like that full-time job is helpful despite the amount of time it takes away from the things you want to do. I say that because I feel like when I did have those couple of moments in my how should I say this? There was a couple of moments in the past year or two that I was not working, and it was also a time when I was, I think, starting to stream or streaming already. Streaming. Yeah, it was already when I was streaming already. And I thought to myself, hey, yay! I have all this time now that I could do to work on my projects I wanted. But reality is, because of what happened with those situations, that is not what happened. I was super depressed. Super depressed of not having a job. As weird as that might sound for some people. You don't have... Okay, think about this, alright? You're living alone, you have all these bills that you need to pay, and you are... at least you have some savings. Let's just pretend you have some savings at least. And you cannot find work. or no one is, well, people are hiring, but they're not hiring for the job that you are qualified for. And it is difficult to find positions for things that you are qualified for, because sometimes people do be picky, right? Some people do be pickier, or some people just don't return calls even though you are qualified for them. And if you do that for several months at a time, it gets very discouraging, and it gets very rough mentally and emotionally and spiritually. Like I felt everything, and you end up, what ends up happening is your sleep schedule, whether you want it or not, goes off kilter, and you sleep at odd hours a day, wake up at odd hours a day. You sleep in a lot. I slept in a lot anyway, and it didn't help me. It didn't help me as much as I wanted to. I actually was sort of just barely getting by during those times. I was streaming, and what the streams I scheduled was basically what kept me a little bit normal, but I still wasn't quite there. Which was unfortunate. But having a job, full-time or part-time, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. It does help you reset a little bit from all the content creation stuff, I guess is what people call it, and put things into perspective. Also, you get some stories out of it depending on what you do. Some people don't get stories from their jobs just because there's no there's nothing to relate. Like mine, to be honest, half the stuff that I can talk about at my job I cannot talk about. Confidential, super confidential. Though I do, one of these days I do kind of want to just talk about what I do on a daily basis. And honestly, it's not much. It's not super exciting, but I think it would be an interesting talk to do. Because I think my position is somewhat unique, but it's not like, it's also probably not something people consider. And I would at least want to open up that possibility for some people who want something that's relatively easy. Actually, my job's pretty easy at the end of the day, but it does take a lot of work to get there. Yeah, it takes a lot of work to get there, and it's pretty chill. At least for the most part, it's pretty chill. So, no complaints there. Except for this one, I got complaints for. Ouch. Okay, maybe we can get that back. Wait. Okay, I am 4th place. This is gonna be bad. Oh yeah, that's lost my thought. Well, I don't have much thoughts right now anyway. Let's just say things, it does help. It does help things to put things in perspective, at least. I feel like people who do content creation and only content creation sometimes lose touch with reality. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. You gotta touch grass sometimes. You gotta touch grass, see what people are doing, talk to people outside, and you know, get some perspectives. Everything is not, the world does not revolve around the internet. Sorry to say, it just does not. We wish it did, though. Honestly, even the internet's not that great these days. Man, remember GeoCities? Remember GeoCities? Actually, no, I don't. I think let's see, was I a GeoCities person? Was I there was GeoCities and there was, what was it? Tripod? I've never heard of Tripod. I've heard of Angel Fire. I was thinking GeoCities and MySpace. I was thinking MySpace. I wasn't thinking Angel Fire, but I think it's on the same track. Tripod, I don't think I don't remember Tripod. I don't think I've ever seen Tripod. But I was thinking MySpace and GeoCities for, you know, the era of the internet, where people would go crazy with their website stuff, and some people just did not have any idea how to make a website, and everything was so loud, so jank. Remember opening up a web page and you get blasted by the music that wave at full volume, and it was super annoying, and you desperately want to turn it off, but you can't turn it off because that just wasn't a thing. Oh my gosh, thank goodness we have better website practices. Though if you do want to relive your GeoCities days, or want to see how those days were like, apparently there's a new website hosting service called NeoCities. NeoCities, I have not tried yet. I do have an account. I just haven't made anything yet because I don't know what to make. But basically, NeoCities looks like it was like definitely made after the whole what do you call it? It was definitely made after the whole GeoCities era, and some of the pages on that site definitely show it. It definitely show it. It's kind of hilarious to think about. But yeah, that's I'm gonna have to play around with it sometime. I just don't have time to play around with it. I was wanting to. The website I wanted to make for NeoCities was, what was it? Was to make a game on it, but to do the game I have to like do a bunch of fancy stuff they don't just allow for, so it's gonna be rough. Fourth place, man. Okay, well, it's been a while since I did this, but whenever I get fourth place, I do have to take a shot of whatever drink I have. So let me see. What drink do we have today? I still have the sake we have from New Year's. And I think I still have a little bit left of the junmai. So what I have in my hand right now, you can't see it, but it's a Texas sake, junmai, and I think I have like maybe a shot and a half left in it. It is chilled. I have a cooler with me, and it is chilled in there. And I think we might be able to finish this bottle. We had 3 bottles of sake. Oh no, it's not even a shot. It's not even a full shot. It's half a shot. That's okay. I'll drink that half a shot, and the bottle will go in recycling later. But we had 3 bottles of sake at the beginning of the year. We had a cedar sake, junmai sake, and a whiskey sake. Hey, Lacats, welcome. I just got 4th place, so I got to take my shot of alcohol. I feel like it's been forever since I did that, which is good news. But I got hit badly once, and now I have to take the batsu. Bottoms up. Okay. Yeah, that last bit of sake wasn't that great. It really wasn't that great. This junmai could have been better. I feel like this junmai was a lot better before. I don't know what's up with this batch. But the whiskey sake tasted pretty good though. So we still have the whiskey sake bottle left. 2 bottles down after 5-ish months. It took me 5 months to finish off 2 bottles of sake, and then the last one's probably gonna take me another few months because that one's almost full. Almost full. Anyway, so I warmed up a little bit in ranked. How many people do we have right now that want to play? I'm not sure if Solo wants to play, but the cats might want to also. Let's see. It's nice that there's still a few easy options to post stuff that isn't Facebook page. I mean, what options do we have? We have Tumblr. Does Tumblr count as a website, or is it just like a vlog? I know there's Tumblr. There's also Blogger, but I don't know if Blogger sites are really that searchable. I guess there's also medium, but they're not. They don't have the same feel as a. Let me create a room. Battle of a Sewer, Battle of... Ah, they don't have it. Wait, Bloodshed Skirmish. Is this a new mode? Hold up, is this a new mode? Let's try this one. Okay. Let me just copy the link for anyone who wants to join in. I think we have at least 2 people. Yeah, I'm not sure which room this is. Alright, I guess we'll have to use the streamer here for now. The cat's ready to dominate. It's a 4-player room. Maybe we'll nerf you a little bit with that. I guess that we don't have a 3rd person in, at least not that I can tell. So I'll just go ahead and use an AI for now. But yeah, what sites do people use these days besides Tumblr? But they're not really. They're not really websites per se. I do have a card website, quote unquote website, but it's not funky. It's not personal. I need to like change all that stuff. Oh, this is not what I was thinking. Oh, this is not what I was thinking. Ah, okay. We're gonna have to do. Sorry, guys. Let's quit this one really quick. This is not the game mode I was thinking of. I thought it was I thought it was the one with the bonus stuff. This one's not good. This one's not good. Yeah, let's just do a normal game. I thought it was gonna be the bonus stuff. East only versus AI. There we go. Alright, let's try it again. Sorry about that. But yeah. Alright. Add you in there. Yeah, I was thinking Tumblr, blogger, that kind of stuff. But there's no like... I guess there's Wix, but isn't Wix like a paid service or something like that? Because if Wix is a paid service, it's not quite the same. It's definitely not quite the same. So I don't think I can count that. And also I think Wix is mostly used for e-commerce or whatever, I think. So it's like, yeah, I can't exactly count on that one. But maybe, just maybe. Oh my gosh, now that I took a little bit of alcohol, I feel like my nervous system is like slowing down a little bit. And it's like, woo! It's I don't think I'm a lightweight. I mean, but I don't drink a whole lot either. So technically not a lightweight, but I do not drink a lot. I think the most I've ever drunk is... How much have I drunk once? I think I did like 2 small pitchers of soju. The most I've ever drunk is 2 small pitchers of soju, and I think that was enough to have me hobbling back to my hotel at the time, like a drunk person. It was an experience. I may have told this story before, but I don't mind telling it again. But basically what happened was that I was what do you call it? I was going to an isekai'd on a recommendation from from the innkeeper that I was at the time, and it was a local place around the neighborhood. It was actually a local inn in the Ikebukuro area. That's where the inn is, or was in this case. The inn is now closed. At least apparently the inn is now closed, and that's no good. It was kind of nice. I kind of wanted to like drop by there again. I kind of wanted to drop by there again and give the inn owner a bottle of sake from over here. See what he thought about it. I will say I was trying to go for the Daisangen, but I wasn't feeling the other red, so I did what I did. I did what I did. Sorry about that. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, let's see where we go. But yeah. Yeah, it wasn't really even sochu. Has anyone ever heard of this drink called hoppy? Like I said, I've talked about this before, but I don't mind talking about it again. Hoppy. Apparently, hoppy is technically a non. Let me spell it. I think it was. Let me double check the spelling on that one. Hoppy, because I hoppy drink. Japan. Okay, no, it is the HOPPY spelling. Yeah, hoppy, as in it is made out of hops, I think, and it tasted like it was basically made out of hops because it had that beer flavor that I don't really like. It was bitter, and basically what it is it's a non-alcoholic drink. The hoppy itself is non-alcoholic. However, the drink you mix it in is alcoholic. Like the old guy that recommended it to me, I was sitting in the izakaya. Okay, I was sitting in the izakaya. No, it wasn't even an izakaya. It wasn't an izakaya. It was a yakiton place. Like, you know, yakitori is like chicken skewers, right? Yakiton is pork skewers. And I was he already there, or did he come afterwards? I think he was already there. And I sat right next to him because it was the only spot open at the time. So I sat next to this old guy, and apparently he could tell that I wasn't from around there. Normally I could blend in pretty well, and some people don't realize that I'm not Japanese until I open my mouth. Like, I don't think I look typically Japanese or anything like that, but it seems like I passed just enough that, are they Japanese? Are they not Japanese? And yes, apparently I passed just enough. I don't know if I pass anymore, but I used to pass as one. And as soon as I opened my mouth, like, you're not Japanese, you're not from around here, so let me recommend you a drink or something. He didn't say it like that, but his English was very fluent. Apparently the old guy used to be a businessman, obviously, that went on trips to the US, and I guess he lived in Chicago for a while. Yeah, so I think he lived in Chicago for a while, and at the time he said the only words he knew were hungry and food, and I guess it went from there. He was a funny old dude. I never got his name. I never got this old guy's name, but if I ever see him again, I do want to talk to him. He seemed neat. He seemed neat. Probably revenge. Mini revenge. Alright, take your 1,000 and get out. But yeah, I do want to talk to that old guy again if I ever see him. Maybe if I drop by Ikebukuro again, I might see him on one night. Doubt it. But it's a really nice place. I don't think it's on Google Maps though. Or at least if it's on Google Maps, it's hard to find. I will have to see if I can find the address later, after the game or something. But yeah. Anyway, the old guy recommended me to drink hoppy, and I asked him, "Is it alcoholic?" And he says, "No, it's not alcoholic." Liar. No, he was half lying, but at the end of the night, he was basically lying to me. Because I really didn't want to drink that night. I really didn't want to like go home like drunk and stuff like that. But I did want to give it a try. The first time I had a drink in Japan was in this. Is it an izakaya? This one might actually be an izakaya. It's a seafood izakaya. And you might, if you've been to Japan before, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's that seafood place that's in almost every Shotengai tourist area place. It has that really signature seafood restaurant look to it. Apparently locals go there regularly anyway, that it's not just a tourist trap, but it's definitely, it wouldn't be the first place I go normally, but I went there just to try it out. And I think my first drink from there was a, oh wow, I didn't realize I had this much. Oops, sorry about that. Yes, I had that much in the hand. But I think I had a lemon sour? A lemon sour, I think is what it was. And that, oh no, pineapple sour. I think pineapple sour is like a mix of seltzer and some kind of sochu. That's probably what it was. It tasted really good. I think I had like maybe just one of that because I was on a really tight budget by the time that part of the trip was happening, and I didn't feel like spending ludicrous amounts of money in izakaya just for myself. And basically at the izakaya I got the pineapple sour, which is really good, nice, refreshing, and it wasn't actually too alcoholic. I was fine coming out of it. But I also tried the squid, the grilled squid, and kani miso. I think that originally went there for the kani miso, or at least when I saw the kani miso, I made sure to order it because I wanted to give it a try. And honestly, the kani miso did not taste that special. Like, kani miso is the brains, the inside guts of the crab. I know it sounds delicious, but the inside guts of the crab mixed with some other stuff. And it's supposed to be really good, and maybe it was just prepared just average in this place, but I don't know, it was alright. It didn't blow me away. You know, if there's one thing I really want to try next time I go over there, or somewhere that might be able to serve it, is shirako. Shirako is super infamous for people who have never heard of it or don't know anything about it. Let's just say it is creamy, it is white, it is creamy, and I don't know what gave people the idea to eat this. But with all the weird things that people eat, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, but I would I want to try it just to say I tried it. Not in a weird way, but some people will probably take it as a weird way. Just you know, they're just kind of like that. I'm just like super curious. How does it actually taste? How does shirako taste? It's kind of like fugu, right? You hear about fugu. And it comes from like blowfish and all that stuff, and you know, blowfish are like super poisonous. Takes millions of years of certification and practice just to be able to be certified to serve it. Oh! Ouch. Okay. That is the alcohol buff. That is the alcohol buff. Sorry, Sala. Sorry, Sala. That was an alcohol buff. Usually it's a 50-50 with the buff debuff with the alcohol. Sorry about that. Ah. All right. Let me look up the restaurant really quick that I went to. If you guys want to keep playing, just stay in the room and hit up ready. But I'm gonna look at the place that I was looking for, that I was thinking of, Shinsekai Yakiton in Ikebukuro. Let me check that this is the shop I was thinking. Up, yep. It's this one. The hole in the wall shop in near Ikebukuro. Is this it? Is it actually it? Yeah, okay, this looks familiar. I'm gonna link it to you guys really quick so you can take a look at that when you get the chance. If you ever find yourselves in Ikebukuro, at some point. Okay, so they don't have a website, but they have the other thing. How do I share this? How do I share this link? No, that's not it. Maybe I just Google Maps. Google Maps how? Because this is actually a pretty good place to try. It's super cheap. It's super cheap and really, really good. Crap, how do I get this thing? Maybe this is the next best thing. I don't like linking TripAdvisor, but I may have to link Trip. Oh no, this isn't it. This isn't it. Unless they change the interior, but this does not look like it. Huh. May have to... Toshima, Ikebukuro. What's the outside look like? December 2015. Where is this place? Yakiton Ikebukuro. Maybe we do that first. Sorry, I am... where is it? I feel like it's this place, but... now that I look at the area, it doesn't look familiar. Okay, maybe it's not this one. Alright, we'll have to try again later. Sorry about that. Okay, let's get started. I really want to share it though. But it's not really a hole in the wall, but there's like a bunch of you know, mom and pop shops, and it's like one of those mom and pop shops where like limited seating and stuff like that, but it's not like 6-person seating like you might see in some places. I was just woke up last round. Not sober yet. Okay. All right. Well, let's hope you wake up soon. So get something to drink or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what time it is in your place, but if it's like morning, maybe get some caffeine, tea, coffee, something like that. Wake yourself up. You know, I'm trying to think of how I usually wake up in the morning, but honestly, I don't do anything special. Like, you know how most people in the morning would probably like grab coffee or tea to drink because they need that little caffeine boost to wake them up. I don't even do that. I usually just wake up. Like, let's say I wake up at 6:30 in the morning because that's usually when my alarm goes off. And I just lay in my bed for 30-45 minutes, almost an hour. Hopefully not an hour because that's usually when I leave. But about 30 to 45 minutes, I just kind of lay in bed and slowly wake up. And that's basically my morning routine. It sounds very lazy, but that's kind of how it is. The only thing I drink in the morning is like water. Honestly, the only thing I've been drinking these days is like water and milk. Rarely milk these days. At least I try not to drink milk before stream because it does what do you call it? It does affect my voice a little bit. Like, it makes me hack up in a cough. It's not great. Cold shower wakes you up in the morning. Nice. I used to... okay, this is gonna sound weird. this is gonna sound weird for some people, but I haven't taken a morning shower in the past, I want to say, several years. I take a shower, okay? Don't get that out of context. I take a shower, but I haven't taken a morning shower in years. I think ever since I visited Japan. And a friend explained this to me on like the shower habits of people, like after my first trip. A friend explained it to me on the shower habits of people between the US and other places in the world. I think so my friend is from Brazil, and I think they do the same thing in Japan too. Yeah, so late day showers are what some people do. Like, you know, in the US, at least growing up, I think even in the Philippines this was a thing too. No. Yeah, probably. Like at least in the US, let's just say in the US, because I don't remember what it in the Philippines anymore. But at least in the US, most people take a shower in the morning, and that's the only shower they take the entire day. When they come back from work or school or whatever they're doing, they just kind of go on with the rest of their day and sleep. Like, they might change their clothes, you know, or take off all their clothes before they go to bed, but they just sleep with everything that has accumulated on their body from the day, and they take a morning shower after that. And some people find that weird, because would you not want to go to bed nice, clean, and refreshed? And, you know, not gross from all the sweat and other stuff that might have been accumulated on your body. Ouch. Okay, baby hit. I'll take it. But yeah, I mean, some people think that's kind of nasty, and you know what? To a degree, I agree with that. But it's just not something that most people have a habit of doing. You know, at least in the U.S., most people don't have that habit. But ever since I went to Japan, because I walked around a lot, and whenever you travel anywhere that you can walk around, like say Europe and Japan in general, you walk around a lot. You don't really have a well, you do have public transportation, but even with public transportation, you have to walk everywhere. And let's say you have built up a bunch of sweat and you feel really, really gross when you come back to your hotel or Airbnb, right? It just makes sense to take a shower and wash off all that sweat, and you know, at the end of the day, you just feel all nice and comfortable to go to bed. And you know, ever since then, it's like, you know what, that kind of makes sense. I will take a shower at the end of the day from now on, and I've done that ever since. And actually, if you do take a shower at night, for most people anyway, it does help. It does help people fall asleep better. Like, it's easier to fall asleep because you're relaxed and you're not so tense anymore, and you actually feel fresh. So I think that helps. At least it has helped me. So there's definitely benefits to that. Now, the only reason why you might want to take a shower in the morning, let's say, probably if you're still used to taking the shower in the morning just to wake yourself up, a cold shower to wake you up, I guess that's not the same as getting yourself clean or anything. Because to me, a shower is getting yourself clean. At least for me, that's how it is. I don't know how it is for most people. But yeah, getting clean, that's what a shower is. And then, you know, where did my train of thought go with it? But yeah. I just think it makes sense to do that at the end of the day, and it's really helped. It's really helped with a bunch of stuff, and there's really no reason to go to bed dirty, or at least sweaty. Not necessarily as dirty, but sweaty. Now, maybe if you did some late night exercises, then maybe you would take a shower in the morning to get yourself clean. But that's the only thing I can think of that why you would want to get yourself clean in the morning. Otherwise, it's just a habit to wake yourself up with a shower. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. It just kind of makes sense, the thought process to do late night showers and stuff like that. Right before bed. Right before bed, I think it's like the best time. Or, you know, a few hours before bed, if you want to dry off and stuff. But yeah, I haven't taken a morning shower in years since then, and it's worked out. It's honestly worked out. The only thing I wish that I have that's in Japan that we don't have around here is the bath. Like, holy crap, the baths in Japan are so deep. They're like deep enough to where you can actually sit, and if you fill it up with water, it will actually like reach chest or shoulder high, and you can actually soak in it. We do not have that. I don't understand the tubs around here, to be honest. Why is there even a tub? I feel like the tub is just an accessory to the shower. And it's just an accessory to the shower, so the shower water has somewhere to drain into, but the tub serving as an actual functioning tub, it just does not work. It just does not work in general. I tried doing it, and it's really uncomfortable to take a dip in the bath. Like, I do have like I have these, what do you call this? These bath salts, these Japanese bath salts that I've been trying out, and I did manage to take a bath with them. But it's like really difficult to relax because it's so what do you call this? You just can't recline. You just can't sit as well. You have to like recline, and it's a weird angle. And there's this thing in the tub where if the water goes a certain level, it cycles back into the tub so that it doesn't overflow, and that doesn't help with filling the tub. I mean, I get it. You don't want to overflow the tub to flood your bathroom, at least around here. But in Japan, they do that all the time. They flood the bathroom because they can, because they have two separate bathing areas. They have the actual shower area and the actual bath area. The actual bath area where you just sit and relax in water, and the actual shower area where you just sit on a chair, hopefully, and scrub yourself clean. Most of the time, I take a morning shower to get ready to go outside. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that makes sense. If that's your habit to do, then it makes sense. Like I said, I'm not saying anything against it. It's just it kind of makes sense cleaning at the end of the day. But if you're trying to wake yourself up with water, cold, hot, whatever, yeah, I mean, sure, that works too. Whatever you do, but like me, but like I said, personally, I don't do anything special. I just kind of just lay in bed lazily. Just trying to wake up, because when I first wake up in the morning, it's like, I can't see anything, and I get really lazy to wake up. I don't want to go. I don't want to go to work. But then after the 15-minute alarm, when I say 15-minute alarm, like 15 minutes until you have to leave for work. When that alarm comes around, it's like, I guess I have to go. And then I just pack everything that I need to pack. Food for lunch. I pack my own lunch. I don't know. And brush my teeth, because you do have to brush your teeth in the morning. I think that's just good hygiene in general. I don't know if people do that or not, but yeah, brush my teeth in the morning, pack my lunch, and then just get dressed and go out. No, I don't do any other things. I do clean at the end too. I mean, that's good too. Some people do shower twice a day. And that's okay. That's okay if you can, if that's something you're used to. But I think in some places it's not as practical, especially if you're like in a drought or something. Or I think there's one person I've heard about that showers like 3 times a day. And it's like, why? Why do you shower 3 times a day? I get if you would shower twice a day. Some people do that, but 3 times? When's your third shower? In the middle of the day? Why? I do not understand. I do not understand. But yeah, I think my morning routine is like fairly simple, but it's like what do you call this? It's not anything special. I don't even drink coffee or tea when I get to work. I would like to drink tea when I get to work. However, usually by the time I get to work, it's like I have a load of stuff I need to do and I need to get started. Otherwise, if I don't get this started, I will be here for 8.5 to 9 hours, and that's not good. So I don't drink tea, though. Sometimes when I do, I don't have anything too pressing to do in the morning. I just kind of sit at my desk and do random stuff. Don't tell my boss that. She knows though, but don't tell my boss that. I mean, maybe I can relate if the weather's so hot you take a shower a lot to cool down. I guess so. I guess so. That's... I don't know. When do you take the 3rd shower? I can't understand when you take the 3rd shower. If it's so hot that even your room is hot and you can't turn on the AC, I guess taking a shower would do. I have also seen some people like dip their feet into water. Suppose if you dip your feet into water, that kind of helps you with your circulation, but I don't know if it actually works or not. I never tried it. Never tried it. I mean, you can't dip your hands and keep your hands in water all day, but you can dip your feet in ice, in like an ice bucket or something, and maybe that'll work. But I don't know if that works or not. That's maybe someone could try it. I don't know. If you got AC, use the AC. Use the AC, unless the AC sucks. My AC in my old place was not very good. It didn't, like, it would turn on, but I think it barely cooled the entire place, despite it saying, yeah, it's supposed to be set, it's like supposed to be at this temperature, but it doesn't feel like this temperature. So I also have to supplement the AC with a fan, and that wasn't too bad, but the fan was like really noisy, and I didn't like having it out, especially when I'm streaming. But I've had to do that a couple of times, and it's like, this is so terrible. It's so terrible. But now the AC in this new place is very nice. It's sometimes too cold, even though I set it to a temperature that's not like too low. Like, let's say I set it to 78, 77 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is for most people, but I tend to set my temperatures higher than others, I think. Sorry, I had to cough a little bit. But yeah, I think some... I do think I set my temperature higher than most people. I know there are some people that like setting their temperatures down super low. And when I say super low, I'm saying like below 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And some people might say, but 65 is normal for an AC. And I say, for you, I would be a popsicle at 65. I'm sorry. I am very weak to cold. Ouch. Ooh, not a bad hand. Not a bad hand. Okay, second. Congrats! You win! You're fully awake now. You're fully awake now. I'm just glad this isn't the 3-player room. Otherwise, I would have not just me. Sola would also have died a long time ago. But yeah. Let's see. Do we have anyone new in chat? Yeah, you wasn't last. The AI counts. Yeah, the AI counts as last. If you're not fourth place, you're not last. AI or not. Okay, let's go another. Yeah, let's see, what was I thinking? Crap, where were we at? We were at morning showers and stuff like that. I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. It's tough sometimes to figure out where I am. Oh my gosh, am I getting old? Am I getting old? Am I losing my memory? That would suck. I don't think I've actually been dazed enough though to where, you know, you have like short-term memory loss. Like, you know how some people, when they drink too much, they like pass out and can't remember what they did last night. I'm like, I've never gotten so drunk that that's happened to me. I feel like I would always have some clue on what happened. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm one of those people who are super aware about what's happening at any given time, unless I'm like deep into my phone and just not paying attention. But for the most part, I'm usually pretty aware. I can remember stuff pretty well, even though it's been like a few, let's say a few weeks or months, depending on what it is. It's like, as long as it sticks in the memory, right? Like, if let's say someone popped into chat that I haven't seen in months, but their name looks familiar, I would remember that. But if someone pops into chat and say, "Hey, do you remember me?" I would automatically freeze and probably say, "I don't. I'm sorry." Like, I don't. Some of the names are so jumbled up and look similar to each other. I can't remember, but sometimes, you know, it's easier. It's easier for me to remember some people than others. Yeah, I mean, it sounds bad when I'm talking about chat, but you know, in real life, I'm super bad at remembering people's names. Like, I recognize what you look like. I don't know what your name is, especially if I haven't asked it myself. And even if we've introduced ourselves to each other once, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. I know this might sound offensive, but can you tell me again, please? I'm sorry. It's okay. I've had squirrel brain for a long time. It's not just age. I don't think I've had squirrel brain even because of not age, but that's beside the point. But yeah, I think there's even this one guy at work. Okay, I feel really bad about this one, but I get away with it because I don't really say anything back. But there's this one guy at work who keeps on saying, "Good morning, Ruka," and maybe not in that tone, but "Good morning, Ruka," and something like that. And I'm like, "Good morning," and I'm like, "Who are you again? I never got your name. I never found out this guy's name. Even when I was super new, somehow this guy knew my name. But I never got their name. I never thought to ask. And I think I know what their name is now, just by listening to other people talk to them. But I'm still not sure if that's actually their name. The one time I thought I knew their name, it wasn't actually their name. It was someone else's name. And someone had to back me up and actually call them by their real name, which I didn't even hear. And that felt awkward to me, but at the same time, it's like, oh, they didn't notice. I'm still okay. But the person who helped me is now looking at me and thinking, wow, what's up with this guy? It's worse because these are people you work with. These are people you work with, so you have to just like see them every single day. But if it was a stranger, you know, it wouldn't be as bad. But I mean, I don't work with them directly, but you know, they're still in the same building, in a different department, and it's like, awkward. Super awkward. Super awkward. Yeah. It just be like that sometimes. But I don't know. I feel like it for me to remember someone, at least, you know, in real life, I would have to see them over and over and over again for at least a week or so. And it would have to be like constant exposure so I can actually remember who they are. If I don't get that, it's really tough. It's super tough for me. And that just sounds super bad, but it's just I just don't remember ever getting that skill where, you know, where it's easy, or where it's like where you recognize someone right away, commit their name to memory right away, unless it was like a super important person that you kind of have to remember, like your boss or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's like there are some people who can like remember faces and names super easily. I'm just not one of them. I can remember random facts super easily, or at least, you know, if I'm playing a game, I can remember things that I've done last week pretty easily. Like when I do weekly streams of a game. But other than that, it's just nah. I have a save state in my mind for games. I don't have a save state in my mind for real people in general, unless like super important for one reason or another. That sounds super bad. That sounds super bad. But yeah, I need water. Sorry, I'm taking my revenge right now. Revenge. Yo. Darn AI, why are you emoting? I thought that was solo for a second. That was emoting. Don't scare the AI. Actually, be very scared of the AI if we ever put that to normal, because normal is actually super tough. I feel like normal's cheating, borderline cheating. It can't be legit. It can't be legit. Oh yeah. Let's see. I'm just trying to think. What has happened. Anything interesting happened to you guys recently that you want to share? I'm just gonna throw that out there while I'm trying to think of stuff to talk about. Just really, I think my topic stuff, the stuff I want to talk about, I can't talk about until next week. Like, I really can't talk about it until next week, just because it will be what, spoilers, I guess, spoiling the conversation for what's coming up. And what do you call this? What else? Horror games. Horror games, I don't think I've... Okay, so here's the thing. You know, with horror games, there's two different kinds of people when it comes to horror games. People who, well, three different kinds of people. I'll say three. People who don't like horror games for real, because for some reason they get scared by it. And people who really like horror games for who knows what reason I will never understand. And people who say they don't like horror games, or at least people who actually don't mind horror games, but they act super scared when they actually play it. And yes, I am calling out some streamers, okay? I'm calling out some streamers who seem like they're acting scared when they play horror games because it seems so fake. No, I'm serious, guys. Some people. And I'm just throwing a general blanket statement out there. Some people just I don't know, overreact when they do horror. I get it. You're playing in front of people. You have to amp up the emotions a little bit sometimes. But it's like that's a little too much. That reaction's a little bit too out there. But some people are really like that, so I shouldn't say that. I'm just throwing shade though, because once in a while I do throw shade just to throw shade. But horror game, me personally, I'm okay with them. However, I don't like jump scare where horror games that are all jump scares. Like, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's. I will throw that out because a lot of people seems like Five Nights at Freddy's. I just do not. If only because of the type of horror it is. It's not a good horror to me. For me, it's not good horror. It's just trying to like scare you, like peekaboo kind of thing, except it's you know, scary peekaboo coming out of nowhere kind of thing. And it's like, nah, that's not horror. That's not horror. If you want to do horror, you gotta do it like, you gotta creep them out from the bottom, from the core of their heart. I want to feel chills down my spine. I want to feel fear from playing a horror game because it's legit scary and not because there's going to be a jump scare at the next corner. You know? Though I say that, I played Resident Evil 1, and while that's legit scary, it also has jump scare sections, which I had a feeling for predicting eventually, but it's like, yeah, when it became too predictable, I wasn't as scared, but it still got me because it came out of nowhere. But at the same time, Resident Evil is good because it does kind of keep you on edge more often than not. So yeah, that was alright. I like Resident Evil for that, but I don't like it for I don't like how it became action and all that stuff. Speaking of which, we are going to be starting some horror games. What? Oh, I thought it was one of you guys that won. The AI? Excuse me? AI is winning. The easy AI is winning. That usually does not happen. My gosh, and no one knows how the AI plays either. It's kind of random. But yeah, speaking of which, so we are going to be starting up some horror games in the coming months. I'm going to try to like do at least one horror game in the rotation when I can find time for it, because October, let me just remind you everyone, October I will not be here for half of the October, and what do you call it? I won't be here for half of October because I'm going on a trip, right? So normally I would do most of my horror games in October because it's spooky month, it's Halloween month. But since I can't do that this year, we are gonna do it at least throughout the year leading up to it, and then chill out again. So if you haven't seen the poll yet for the channel on what we want to do next, there is one horror game in there, quote unquote horror. I'm not sure how it stacks up with the rest of the Resident Evil games, but there is Resident Evil 0 on the list if you want to see me do a horror game. I will be doing other smaller horror games, but that's like, well, I guess we can finish it in 3 streams, so it's not really a series where I go for like 5+ streams just to finish. That's more like on a Death Stranding level or other RPGs, I feel like, right? But there is a horror option if you want me to do a horror game in a week or two. I want to say a couple of weeks because I want to try to. There's a game that came out recently, which I think is also horror, but I've never heard of it. But a friend has worked on this game, at least on this this release of the game. So I want to play it to support them. I also want to play because it looks really nice. It looks really pretty. That's all the hints I'll give for now. You will see it You will see it next week. I do plan to. I wanted to play it earlier in the week, but I think the best time for me to play it next week is on Friday. So you will see it on Friday. I'll just say that right now. But it is a new game. Well, it's an old title with a new release that came out. I think it was this week. No, was it this week? I want to say it was this week. If not this week, then last week. And it's a classic. Apparently, it's a classic. And I'll just give you a hint on what it is. It's on the same level as classic as isekai'd. If you have heard of isekai'd, it's the same level of classic as that. It's the same classic as Mad Father. I haven't played Mad Father. I have played isekai'd. I don't know if I'll play Mad Father because I've seen some stuff from there, but not enough to spoil me. So I don't know. That's kind of up in the air. But I do kind of want to play some of the classic RPG Maker games that apparently a lot of people like. But it's RPG. The funny thing with RPG Maker games in general is that a lot of times the games that people remember from RPG Maker are not RPGs. They're not RPGs. They're either visual novels or adventure games. Not action adventure games, but just adventure games. And it's funny because a lot of my friends are RPG Maker devs. And when I say devs, I mean that as actual devs, they do use it for work and stuff like that. But RPG Maker, its original purpose is to make RPGs easier. Developing RPGs is easier. And there is only one RPG I can think of at the top of my head that is made in RPG Maker, and it's Omori. Omori is the only RPG Maker game that's actually an RPG that's kind of sort of famous. Which is funny. I mean, I guess you can also count Undertale. I think that was originally an RPG Maker before it was moved on to something else. I think, question mark, don't quote me on that one. But yeah, most of the games that people know from RPG Maker are not RPGs. But I will say though, it's very easy to make non-RPG games on it because you don't have to worry about a whole lot of stuff. And holy crap, how did the AI beat us? AI winning! What the heck is this? What is this? We'll let the AI have it. The AI can have that. It rarely wins, so it can have it. Beep boop. But yeah, I mean, if you think about it, there's Mad Father, there's isekai'd, there's To the Moon. I think To the Moon is another RPG Maker game. And what else is there? There's a bunch of other ones, but they're not RPGs. And I'm like, what's up with that? What's up with that? I get it, because I have used RPG Maker not to make an RPG before. I have used RPG Maker to make skits. I used to make, well, I didn't used to make, I tried to make, but I have made some skits on the channel using RPG Maker. And it's just really easy to do it with it. It takes some time still, okay? It takes some time still, but you don't have to worry about a lot of programming with that if that's all you want to do. And there's not a whole lot of balancing that you have to do, like damage stuff and power curves and whatnot. You just kind of, it's good. It's funny, but it's a good program to easily make a story. It's a very good program to easily make a visual novel, story, what have you. But not a whole lot of people actually use it for its namesake, which is the hilarious part. And it's a huge complaint among my friends, like, why does no one make actual RPGs from this? The few people that do don't usually get remembered for anything except for Omori. I think Omori is the only one that anyone will remember as an RPG game, but they don't think it's an RPG Maker game because it's not obvious it's an RPG Maker game. Like if you've ever seen Omori, or seen screenshots of Omori, it does not look like it's an RPG Maker game, but it is 100% an RPG Maker game. Like if you actually go into the, you don't even have to look at screenshots to know. You can just go into the files. It has all the file structure. It has all the files and stuff in there that gives it away that's an RPG Maker game. When you launch the game, it will actually feel like an RPG Maker game if you've played those kinds of games before. But I feel like also with RPG Maker games, a lot of people think they're low quality games, which it just gives that impression, if only because a lot of people use the base resources, the RTP, for a lot of things they do. And you know what? I get it. A lot of people like making these little small projects or like little quick projects with it that is really not that great at the end of the day. But yeah, some people worked on it, and some of it's actually kind of fun. Some people it's actually kind of fun. What I do find also funny though, other than the non-RPG Maker games on RPG Maker, I'm sorry, Sala, I took money from you again. Is that okay? I didn't hit you that hard. But what is funny though is it's also a program that a lot of people seem to use for porn. Like a lot of people seem to use RPG Maker for porn games, and I'm like, okay, and it's more of a Japanese thing actually than anything. Yeah, a lot of people in Japan supposedly use RPG Maker for porn games, and I have seen some of them, and I haven't played most of them. I may have tried one. Okay, I may have tried one, but there's a friend of mine who plays them once in a while, and I think there's a couple of series they like specifically that actually has a good story despite it being a porn game. If that makes any sense, you know, like a legit good story. But people use it for that apparently, and it actually makes some money apparently. But the confusing part of it is, how do people find out about these things? How do people find out in the deep reaches of the internet, in Japanese internet, mind you, also, these games? Because I feel like, at least in Japanese internet, it's very hard to find anything unless you go to specific sites. And I guess on those specific sites, it's very easy to find them, but finding said specific site is very hard to begin with. But I guess some people enough people have played those games / series that in very niche circles, it's popular. But yeah, the food for thought. Also, most of these porn games are like, you know, the really, I wouldn't call them gritty, but I would call them dark? Not dark. Some of them are dark. Like, there's actually some dark themes in some of them, apparently. But it's more like bordering on fantasy. It's usually fantasy, and they usually have their own resources, so they're not actually using just the base ones. But it's like fantasy and honestly outright Guro sometimes. I'm not into Guro. It confuses me, and I mean, Guro, there's like the sexual Guro and there's like the non-sexual Guro, but the one non-sexual Guro I've read, Frankenfriend. Does anyone know about Frankenfriend? That is, if you've never heard of Frankenfriend or read Frankenfriend, just prepare yourself. If you decide to read it, it is a lot of body horror. Disturbing even for me And I don't get really disturbed by body horror that much, but it's so grotesque, and that's why it's Guro. The detail, the amount of detail in in it is kind of frightening, to be honest. I don't know if Frankenfran's is still being published, or it might have ended a long time ago, but it was a really popular manga a while back, at least for people who like that kind of stuff. And the thing, I think it's kind of like a horror genre, but it's not really horror as in it's scary horror, but it's like horror as in what do you call this? You know, kind of like the monkey's paws thing, the monkey paw. Be careful what you wish for. It's that kind of horror. It's that kind of horror. Be careful what you wish for, because what you get is probably not what you expected, and it's probably going to be a lot worse than you thought it was going to be. It's that kind of horror. Let me just spoil this one story from it, because it's kind of broken up. It's not really. It's kind of broken up into little short stories. I think it's by chapter short stories or over certain arcs, but there's a lot of short stories in it that could pass off as its own one shot, basically. One of the stories in it, from what I remember, is what was it? This girl, right? This girl doesn't feel like she's pretty. So she goes to Fran, which is the doctor in the story, and the doctor and this Fran, the doctor, I think the best way to describe her, she looks like basically a female Frankenstein's monster. Sorry, but she basically looks like a female Frankenstein monster, and she does a lot of operations basically, and she has a bunch of know-how with biology and all that stuff. So she doesn't just do normal doctoring things like surgery and stuff like that, but she does do surgery for a lot of it. But she goes to the doctor and to like get a cosmetic surgery and whatnot, and basically Fran knows exactly what she needs to do almost every single time. And so what she did was did surgery on this girl, and basically goes through literally a metamorphosis. She became a pupa, and then she emerged from the pupa like I wouldn't say like a butterfly, but she emerged from the pupa like a totally different person. But no, not a totally different person. She looks like herself, basically. But she's different from her usual self. And when the boyfriend saw her, the boyfriend basically says like, you're the most beautiful thing in the entire world, and they go ahead and kiss. But here's a twist. The kiss was not a kiss. The girl's face opened up in a bunch of teeth, and she was basically a praying mantis. So she was genetically modified to become a praying mantis and ate her mate, basically, like a praying mantis. And I guess it was like a poetic beauty. Poetic beauty as far as the story was concerned. I don't remember if that was the exact details, but that's a shortened story of it. And there's a bunch of other stuff that happens in the series, but that's the one that stuck to me the most. That particular story stuck to me the most because it was very macabre. But yeah, I don't mind horror. I don't like horror movies. There's a difference. I do not like horror movies, and I will not sit down to watch a horror movie unless it's comedy horror. Comedy horror is kind of like really campy, gory, funny horror. It's not even really horror. But any movie that has even a little bit of suspense in it, I usually have to prepare myself a little bit because I don't like being at the edge of my seat, suspense, waiting for the shoe to drop. If I think it's because of my experiences when I was younger, when I was just randomly flipping through the TV. Okay, I was just randomly flipping through the TV, or maybe it was a random program I saw on the TV, and it was Chucky. Now, some people like Chucky as a horror movie because they can't take it seriously, and you know, it's funny to them. I do not understand how it's funny to them, but some people see that. And I watched a little bit of Chucky, and to me it just seemed creepy that this doll with this really disfigured face, ugly, and basically killing everyone with a knife, and I think at one point the doll's hand was cut and was bleeding everywhere. That scarred me. Mind you, I did not watch this from the beginning, so I have no idea what the context was, and I did not even try to finish it. I just saw that one part of the movie and got so scared that I never wanted to see another horror movie again. So I don't like horror movies, but I don't mind horror games. But at least with horror games, I can fight back. Give me a sword, give me a gun, give me a weapon, or even give me a camera. Fatal Frame, you give me a camera as a weapon, I will take it. I can defend myself against the horror, but in a movie, I cannot. You know, there's a huge difference there. So I'm not okay with horror movies. I'm okay with horror games, but I don't like jump scare horror because I think it's cheap. It's too cheap to try to get a scared reaction out of your player and call it a scary game, because after a while, I mean, here's where I also think jump scare horror kind of falls apart, is that if you do it too much, you just kind of get desensitized to it after so many times, and you kind of lose your main horror element. You got nothing else to go on. Nice! Nice! Good job! Alright. Good job, Sola. You finally got a hit in. You finally got a hit in. But yeah, I mean, after you're done with the jump scare horror portion, and you get used to it, it's not as interesting anymore. So I tend to like games with more atmospheric horror. It keeps you on your toes, and you know, it's more interesting playing those kind of things because you never know what's going to happen, or at least, even though you do know even if you do know that something's going to happen, you're kind of just preparing yourself, and you know, what can you do? What can you do? What can you do? You can't do anything about it. Or you know, it just feels more real. The horror there feels more real. I think that's what it is. And that's why I tend to like atmospheric horror better. Like, for example, if you've ever played or seen Faith, the Unholy Trinity. Oh no, I hope you don't have what I think you have. But if you've ever seen Faith or heard of Faith, the Unholy Trinity, that is a very good horror game. It's a very good horror game. If you I'm not gonna spoil it. It's kind of hard to spoil, but I'm not gonna. But the way it does the presentation of the horror is, yeah, Mortis. I love it. The Mortis is funny after a while, but the actual creepy parts of the game though, and it actually is generally creepy throughout the entire thing, is that the way it frames the shots, the way it frames the horror is so well done. Like, it actually feels creepy. That's what I want the horror game to be. I want it to feel creepy. I want... Are you serious, AI? Take it. Get out. Get out. Okay. Yay! Solo got second. Congratulations! I think that's the best you've done tonight. I think that's the best you've done tonight. Congratulations. At least the AI didn't win this time. But yeah, I want the horror game to feel creepy, and you know, that's a good horror game to me. If it feels creepy, up to the point where the climax of the game is supposed to be, and that's a very good horror story. Especially if you can keep the atmosphere going throughout the entire game. Like I said, Five Nights at Freddy just has jump scares, and that's it. That's really it. Once you get used to the jump scares, what else is there? There's nothing but frustration, and I don't know. It's I don't think that's a very good game to me. So yeah, atmospheric horror, something like that, something that will creep you out. Those are good horror games to me, and I would love to play those. This will be our last game for tonight, guys. I think we only have enough for one more. But I would love to play those horror games, because those are the best ones. Even yeah, those would be the best ones. So if you have any suggestions along those lines, feel free to comment on that later, or now. Like, I think there's some horror games that don't really feel like horror. It's just trying to like tell a story. I feel like Mad Father is one of those games. Like I said, I haven't played it, but my impression of it is kind of like it's just trying to tell a story, but it's not really creepy. Maybe it's creepy. Maybe at the time it was creepy, but I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know. Probably isekai'd too at the time, but isekai'd was more like story driven, and I get that more. But I didn't feel the horror from it. It was just a really nice story. To me, it was a really nice story. I don't know. Maybe my bar for emotions is pretty high. It takes a lot for me to feel something. Maybe that says something about me. Am I dead inside? I feel like I might be dead inside, guys. I need you to hurt me so I can feel again. I need to be hurt to feel. If I don't feel hurt, are you actually hurting me? I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with me. The voidness. I'll let me write that down. There is one game that a friend of mine, another friend of mine, recommended to me. That's not necessarily horror. I kind of want to play it on stream, just so we can experience it all together. But there's one game that's not necessarily horror. It is free, and I'm not exactly sure what to think about it, because supposedly nothing really happens in it, but it was recommended. Let me see. What was it? Do I have it here? I'm trying to look for the thing in my Steam. Oof. Do I? It starts with an N. It starts with an N. Naissance? Something like that? I think. Let me see. Naissance? Naissance. Naissance? I have to like... Ooh! Richie. Scary. Let's see. Oh crap, where's my screen? Let's see, is this one thing? Ah yeah! How do you say this? Naissance. Naya-sans, I think? Question mark? It's a weird name. This one. I'm gonna paste it in chat. This one. That's the game I was thinking of. It's not horror, but it's well, I guess on Steam it's labeled as atmospheric, abstract, horror. Exploration is the main tag. And I've seen some of it, but it doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe it makes much more sense when you play it. But just watching it, it doesn't make any sense to me. It is free though, so I figure I should go ahead and check it out anyway, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is just a very weird game. We just get lost in, apparently. Literally get lost in. I don't know. A friend of mine got super creeped out by it, but nothing really happens in it, so I'm kind of curious myself how that's gonna work out. I do want to play it though. I just gotta figure out when. I like this music. I don't remember actually. I don't actually remember listening to this background music. Let's see. No, I have listened to it. Maybe I'm just like super sensitive right now. Let's see, do I actually have it in my library? I think I do though. I just spelt it wrong. That's probably what it was. I do. It's actually in my stream queue. It's actually in my stream queue. It looks very interesting. Looks very interesting. The voidness. I'll check the voidness after we're done with this game. Okay, so the cats and Sola were in Tenpai. I see, that's what happened. Oh, by the way, I'm trying to get more people to be guests on the Mahjong nights that we do. So there's someone who has expressed interest in a recent tweet that I sent out recently, and they can't do Saturday, so maybe one of these days that we do Mahjong, it's gonna have to be on a Friday instead of a Saturday. So yeah, I'm still working things out with them and see what we can do about that. I like doing Mahjong on Saturday though, because that's like the end of the week for me, and I just can relax a bit more. If I drink too much, I don't have to worry. I don't have to be worried in the morning about like trying to wake myself up, because when I drink, I'm not a I'm not like I don't get a hangover, but I fall asleep deeper. So drinking helps me fall asleep, but I've never actually drunk to fall asleep. I don't use it for that. But I fall asleep hard if I drink enough. One shot of alcohol, not gonna be enough. 2 things of hoppy, which I actually got 2 things of hoppy that one time. Yeah, I think I felt very well rested that night. I think I also went to... Did I take a bath on that day? When I say a bath, I meant the actual tub bath. I think I may have also taken a bath on that day. I took a shower. I always take a shower, but I may have taken a bath also. And that was I don't know. Is it a bad idea to take a bath after drinking? I don't know. For some reason, I've heard something like that. Don't take a bath after drinking, but I don't know why. And I never thought to look into it. Never thought to look into it. But one of these days we might have to do a Saturday Mahjong stream, and then either I take Saturday off or I do another thing on Saturday. But Saturday in general, at least for me personally, I don't know if this goes the same for other streamers, but for me personally, Saturday is not a good day to stream. Mainly because a lot of people are out and about on Saturday night doing their own thing. So I might have to like shift everything into the week. Sorry, Sola. I had to take my money back. Plus interest. So yeah. Maybe what I should do is not stream on Saturdays. I used to not stream on Saturdays and Sundays because in general that's just not good for streaming unless you're a bigger streamer, quote unquote a bigger streamer, or a corporate streamer, one of those two, you know, with a big audience and stuff like that. But I don't know, I kind of just like doing this after work. It just, like at the end of the work week, because it just feels nice. It's also easier for me to unload everything on my mind at the end of the work week, you know? It's easier to do that and not have to worry about the next day. Man, I say work a lot. I mention work a lot. And there's a dissonance between what I look like on screen and what I'm actually saying. I need to fix that. I really need to fix that. I mean, I don't mean to fix that as in not talk about work. I don't mind talking about it if you don't mind me talking about it. But the dissonance and how old I look and just life experiences in general it's my immersion. Have I ever given you guys immersion? I don't think I have. The most immersion I've given you guys is during the cooking streams, and even then I break that immersion because I do a hand cam. I break the immersion because of the hand cam. I've never done immersion for any of my streams, and I feel like that may have been a mistake on my part, but I never set myself up to do that. Even though now I'm doing the silly stuff like ASMR and random shorts whenever I do random shorts. When was the last time I did a short? I think it's been forever. I think it's been over a month since I did my last short. I've been wanting to make another Yakuza 0 short, but I haven't had the time or motivation to do it. But there was another Yakuza 0 short I wanted to do, and I think I'll still do it because it's a legitimately a good clip. I just need to actually force myself to do it and not get distracted by anything else. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. I like it. But yeah, one of these days though, I will fix that image that I have right now. I'll just be honest with you guys. I would stream face cam if I didn't mind showing my face on stream and, you know, being flagged down the street and like stuff like that. I like to keep my privacy. It's not that I don't want to see you guys. I just like to keep my private life and online life separate as much as possible. No offense for some people who like that. It's whenever I think I mentioned this before. Like before I decided to do streaming, I wanted to be a vlogger. And even when I was deciding to be a vlogger, I never wanted to be on camera. I always want to be behind the camera. And there are some vlogs that are like that, right? Where you don't actually see the person that's doing the vlogging, but you can see their hands, and you might be able to see some reflections now and then, and that's okay. I would be fine with reflections if I wasn't streaming, but I wouldn't be like on camera most of the time. That's just I never been comfortable in front of the camera. I like taking pictures. I have tons of pictures. I don't like being in front of the camera. I wonder if some photographers are kind of like that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I've never ever shown my face on the internet either. I did not. Well, no, I take that back. There's maybe a few times I have shown my face on the internet, and if you happen to find them, fine, you found them. Okay, that's okay. I don't mind. I mean, that's past me's fault, but I don't mind if you find them. But if you're stalking, that's a different issue, and we'll have to deal with that a different way. But I mean, on Facebook, when I had a Facebook, I still kind of have a Facebook. Time to surf them. If you know where to look, you'll find them pretty easily. But I don't think I show my face most of the time. On Facebook, though, I get tagged a lot by family because that's what they do. And I wish they didn't. I really wish they didn't. I don't use Facebook. I kind of just have it, but I don't use it. I just don't use it. Facebook is not a place I want to be these days. I never wanted to be there ever since the days it went outside of college only. When Facebook went outside college only, that was the end of college only Facebook, and that was bad. I feel like that was bad. I know someone who only has a Facebook to untag themselves from photos. You know what? I should probably do that, but I'm too lazy to do it at this point. So I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I mean, I think I've met some people. I've definitely met Sola offline before. So I don't know if Sola remembers what I look like, but I kind of remember what Sola looks like. We met one time at a con. I think it was the... Which con was it? It was when Zune came to Atlanta. We met then. Sola was one of the few friends I had during the Toho days. So yeah. Toho days was good times. I kind of missed it, but at the same time it's like you eventually like drift away from that for one reason or another. It's not a bad reason for me. It's just, you know, other interests took over. But those were good times. I like it. But anyway. Let's see. What else was I about to say? How did I get into it? How did I even get into that? I don't know how I got into that. How did we get into that conversation? I think we were talking about horror games, and then yeah, I think I say horror games, and I don't know how we got into the whole other stuff. But yeah, let's see, horror games. I have several horror games lined up. And okay, you're gonna see some Chilla's art, but Chilla's art is just because me being curious. So bear with me when that comes up. But I do kind of want to play them just to play them, see what the big deal is. I probably won't be playing any of the more famous Chilla's Arts games because I've seen too many playthroughs of them, and I've already been spoiled with the twist and stuff. Because I never thought I'd be able... not be able. I never thought I would myself play a Chilla's Arts game. That's why I watched those streams. And that's why I didn't mind... what do you call this? I didn't mind watching them because I never thought I'd play them. But I will play the Chilla's Art games that are probably not as streamed as much, and I think I do have a couple of those that I got. It's a Kusoge. Choking my water. Sorry. I guess Chill's art is kind of technically a Kusuke. Oh man, you know what? Do you know what's even more Kusuke than Chill's art? And I don't understand this, by the way. What's that one game series where all you do is move right? All you do is move right, and that's the entire game. That is Kusuke. It's not even a good story Kusuke. It's just you move right. All this creepy stuff happens around you. Boo. How is that scary? Whenever I saw anyone play those, and actually get scared from them, I legitimately do not know if they're being honest or playing it up for the camera. I want to think they're playing it up for the camera, but anyone who's actually legitimately scared of those, I do not understand. However, there is one game with Corona in there, which is more hilarious than which is more hilarious than it is creepy. I did watch that, so I will not be playing that. But if I didn't watch it, I probably would have played it, just because I love Corona. I love Corona, but I haven't watched her in forever. I think earlier she was playing an earlier Zelda game. It might have been the very first Zelda game, I think. It looks so old. I know she likes playing a lot of old games and a lot of Kuso games. But she also played that. She also starred in that one game where she's basically not really a cult leader, but she has the. She may as well be a cult leader, hypnotizing everyone, and stealing their fingers like she usually does. That was funny. It was fun. It was more funny than it was anything else. Just because it's only funny because if you know Corona, she's pretty sweet. She's pretty sweet, even though when she goes into her yandere mode, whenever she does that, and she goes into yandere mode a lot. She goes into yandere mode a lot, but we love her because of it. We love her because of it. I love her because of it. He's also the one that got me into playing Blasphemous. I played Blasphemous and I actually really like it. Apparently there was a what is it? There was a update to the Blasphemous game where you actually get a quote-unquote true ending. And I've been meaning to get around to that. So one of these days I'm gonna have to go back to Blasphemous, play it, and also, yeah, X-Potato. Espacito, X-Potato. Sola, it didn't survive this time! I'm sorry I had to do it to you. I'm sorry I had to do it to you. Alright, GG's everyone. GG's. I'm gonna finish up with some talks first before we end today. Yeah. But she got me into Blasphemous, and I played it on stream even. And it was really fun. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's super hard if you haven't played it before. Well, it's not super hard, but I wouldn't say it's super hard. But the timing of everything is a little bit. It takes a little bit to get used to. But once you get used to it, it's actually not too bad. It's not too bad. I think what I like most about Blasphemous is the setting, like. It is very heavily Roman Catholic lore, and Roman Catholic lore aesthetic is actually really cool. and the way they did it for the game, I think they were Spanish developers, right? Because they are Spanish developers and they're probably really heavily entrenched in that culture. They made a really good game that played up all those elements of that lore, right? And it's really nice. And I think I like it just for the aesthetic and everything else that happens around it. So it's really, really cool. I beat the first game. I got the true ending at that time of the first game, but I didn't get the true ending after the update. So one of these days I'm gonna have to play the update and get the true ending from that one on stream. I'm not sure when I'm gonna do that. I just need to find time for it. But I think I spoiled myself with what the final boss is, but I still want to do it because it looks really, really neat. And I want to see if I am still as good as I used to be. I want to see if I'm still as good as I used to be, because I think I played the challenges off stream after I finished it and found that I was actually a lot better than I thought I was. So I want to see if I can do that again, but on stream on a different thing. Also, a Blasphemous 2 is coming out. I just found out today. They are making Blasphemous 2, and it looks better than the first one. Now, I didn't realize they would even do a Blasphemous 2 because it didn't seem like there was room to do a Blasphemous 2. But apparently there's a Blasphemous 2, and there's a few different mechanics in there, and it still looks as good as ever. So yeah, check the Blasphemous Twitter out if you haven't seen it. But they have some footage on there. I'm still trying to decide what platform I want to get that on. I might want to get that on Steam, so that if I decide to get a Steam Deck, I do not have a Steam Deck, but if I ever decide to get a Steam Deck, it would at least be on there. Before the Steam Deck came out, I had everything on the Switch, and these days I don't really use the Switch that much, except for Ring Fit, because you can only do Ring Fit on Switch, but all the other games on Switch you can get on Steam, and probably would be better on the Steam Deck quality wise. But yeah, check out Blasphemous 2. It looks really nice. It looks like there's definitely a bunch of different stuff you can do. I don't know if it's the same. Also, a bunch of different weapons, a bunch of different movements. There's actual damage numbers now that's popping up. Before I don't think that happened, and so you kind of had to guess how much damage you were doing in hits. But the aesthetic is still there. It still looks as what's the word? It still looks very gothic. The gothic aesthetic is definitely there. I think this focuses more on mechanic wise. I think it focuses more on different movement options and different weapon types, which was not a thing in the first game. Your movement in the first game was like very limited, but there were ways to make it faster and make ways to work around it, and you only had one weapon, pretty much only one weapon, a sword. But it looks like a lot different here. I do like the pixel art. I like the pixel art in general. Yeah, I do like the pixel art in this one. I think the first time I saw Blasphemous before it got famous, quote unquote, is that I thought the pixel art was unnecessarily gory. Like I don't think before then I've seen pixel art be so gory with the way it was doing stuff. But when I actually played the game much later, it made sense. It made sense why it was as gory as it was, and it works. It works in context, and it's not gratuitous. Maybe it's a little bit gratuitous sometimes, but it makes sense in context. And you know what? I would not criticize that. That's perfectly good the way they did it. But yeah, I might. Let's see. I think I don't want to promise this, but there is a free day. Well, not free day. There is a holiday coming up. Is it Labor Day? Memorial Day? I think it's Memorial Day. Memorial Day is coming up, and I might do a long stream that day. And if I do a long stream that day, I might want to like revisit Blasphemous. We'll see about that. I'm still double checking my schedule and trying to see if I really want to stream 5 days that week or should I just do 4. We'll see. But yeah, that's my thoughts about that right now. Definitely do expect some horror games in the coming months. We will definitely be doing those because there's definitely some I want to check out that is on my list. But it's not gonna be like, don't expect Five Nights at Freddy's on this channel. It's just not gonna happen, or anything like. I think Choo Choo Charles was another horror game that came out recently. But like I said, I'm not really big into first-person shooters. But Choo Choo Charles, if I seemed interesting until I actually saw the gameplay. I get it. Only one dev made that from the bottom up, and they deserve all the praise for the work they did with that. But it's just not a game for me. I've seen some gameplay. It's just not a game for me. But it's for what it was. I think it's good. It is good. But definitely expect some other horror games for me that are probably not your typical ones. So yeah, we'll see. It'll just be a surprise what some of them are going to be. Some of them may not be outright horror. Some of them just might be really atmospheric and spooky, and then we'll see where it goes, because I'm not even sure about some of these stuff. Oh yeah, let me check the voidness. I'm not going to rule out every single first-person shooter as a no. Oh, actually no. Oh, wait. I do have the voidness. I do have the voidness in my wish list. This one I was interested in for other reasons. Now, first-person in general, I mean, first-person shooter. The shooter part is the main difference. I make some exceptions with that. Like Borderland, I make an exception for that for different reasons. But the voidness I actually have in my what do you call this? In my wish list. I do notice it's in early access, but is it complete in early access, or does it still have something else to finish first? That's what I want to know about this one. Because if it's still not if it's not complete in early access, I might wait a little bit until it's done, and then I'll probably get it. But it is on my wish list because it looked interesting to me. I think the voidness, for anyone who isn't looking at the Steam page right now, is like a exploration type game from what I could tell, and you use like a scanner, I think, to probe the world around you and check out what's happening. And because of that scanner mechanic and how it works with everything, that's the main reason why I'm interested in this one. The weird thing is, though, I don't think I see horror as a tag on the Steam page. It just says action adventure simulation, but not necessarily horror, even though it has all the aesthetic of a horror game. So there might be horror, but it doesn't seem to be the first thing on the tags. So I'm kind of curious why. But is it complete though? Is it complete in its state? Let's see. Early access is the version for those who are interested in supporting the project. Okay, so it's not done yet. It's not done yet. How is the full version? A few months to a couple of years complete. Developed by one developer. Okay, so it's gonna be a while. Okay, so we will just wait a while before we do this. Yeah, it's in early access, but it's definitely on my list to check out. For sure on my list to check out. Usually I try to check the reviews also before I pick it up. Because sometimes if it gets like a mixed review and it was a game I'm interested in, I want to know why it's a mixed review. Like you know, it so that I don't like. Oh, I don't want to say it this way, but I don't want to waste my time on something that's not going to be a good experience for me and not going to be a good experience for you guys. Like Kuso games are okay, and you know, Kuso games are fun in a different way. But if it's supposed to, if a lot was promised with a game and it's not meant to be a kusuge, and it was just wasted potential, I'm okay with doing that on my own time, but I don't want to like drag you guys in with it, if that makes any sense. But yeah. Anyway, definitely look forward to stuff in the future. If you haven't voted yet on the poll though, that I have in the community tab on this channel, please consider voting on that. Otherwise, yeah, stream gaming and personal gaming difference. Yeah, I do have my own personal list of games that I would play for myself, but also I do have some games that I want to record that's probably not great for stream, but I do want to record them so I can review them for you. One of the things I want to do on this channel eventually is actually but review games that may not be streamable but would be interesting to give my thoughts on, so that you know whether or not it's worth it to play yourself. And there's a few of those, or there's a few games I just kind of want to do a playthrough on, not necessarily review, but just do a playthrough on. That's kind of where I want to go with the recording. So to do the recordings, I have to give myself time, and to give myself time, I have to force myself to stream only up to 4 days a week, but that's not happening yet. I did want to record earlier this week. There was a game I got recently called Road Warden. I'm not sure if you've heard of this. Road Warden is a game that I wanted to not stream, but record and maybe review or do a playthrough. I think I want to do a playthrough of it, or maybe, well, it depends on how it goes. But the thing with Road Warden is it is a text game. And text games are not the best things to stream at all. Maybe not at all, but in general, text games are not great to stream. Just because there's a lot to keep up with, and it's a lot of words. And there are some people who can stream that. I don't think I'm one of those people, but it might not be a bad one to record and give you guys a review on. But yeah, that's the other thing. And there's just some other titles that look very run-of-the-mill that I want to record and give a review on, to see yay, nay, that kind of thing. And we'll see where it goes from there. Like, I would never stream Antimatter Dimensions. Come on, why would I stream Antimatter Dimensions? Like, I think Antimatter Dimensions is a fun game, but would I ever stream it? I don't know. That just seems like a really bad idea. I'm not sure about that. Why would I want to? Why would I want to do it, huh? Why would I want to stream Antimatter Dimensions? It's just I click, and you see numbers go up, but the numbers go up very, very slowly. Kind of thing. Like the Grace Attorney is not streamable, but for sure. But I want other people's reaction. No, I think a great Ace Attorney is streamable. Visual novels in general are kind of a mixed bag, to be honest. Visual novels I want to stream because reactions are good for me. I mean, you get to see my reactions if I react. And I also like seeing chat's reactions to certain things that happen in a visual novel. But yeah, this kind of thing, this is definitely not streamable at all. This is Zatsudan stream, if it's a Zatsudan stream at all. This kind of thing. Obvious streaming game is Kitten's Game because everyone loves cat. I am playing Kitten's Game. I don't wait. Did I mention I was playing Kitten's Game? I am playing Kitten's Game. Actually, I am on my third reset in Kitten's Game right now, and I am struggling. I am struggling to figure out. I see. I did mention it. Okay. I am struggling with the loops so far. It's like, I want to keep going into the space race, into like going deep into space and getting all these occult upgrades, but oh my gosh, like it's just no. I'm super addicted to it. I don't know why, but I'm super addicted to it. So there's something about incremental games I'm just super addicted about. I'm not sure why, to be honest. Oh crap. I think I need to close out for today. But yeah, so thank you all guys for coming. Thank you for playing. Thank you all for watching. If you weren't playing and just watching, thank you for listening. This will be on the podcast. This is a pod. If you're not sure, if you haven't heard, the Mahjong games are always going to be on the podcast tab. So if you want to just listen in the background of all the random stuff that's happened, you can do that on the podcast tab. So yeah, there's that. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. Thank you for listening. But we have to close out for today because I need to sleep. Just because I need to sleep. I don't have anything important tomorrow. I just need to sleep. But I'll see you all next time, whenever next time will be. I am probably going to be streaming on Monday. I'm still trying to figure out when I'm going to be doing stuff. It's probably gonna be another 5-day stream next week as I try to wrap up one of the other games I'm doing. So there's that. And finally, hopefully I can get to a 4-day schedule and then we can get to what we need to get to. But new game next week. It's gonna be on Friday. Keep an eye out for it. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be special. I think it's gonna be good. But that's gonna be a short multi-parter stream for sure. So just keep an eye on it. All right, everyone. Have a good rest of your day and see you later. Bye bye.